I think that Rival, I think he has the clip of BAUS. I'm just gonna steal it from Rival because I wanted to kind of react to it. Let's listen to BAUS.
Yesterday with Lost RATONES.
Shout out to Rival.
Maybe I shouldn't. We were discussing future plans. I mean, I'm more thinking from an individual standpoint, right? Like, what do I want to do with my life? Because kind of how we've had it this year is, and this is for the better or for worse, right? I think it's been great. But basically how we've had it in Lost RATONES is we've had coaches and we've had like people who tell us what to do, meta stuff, new strategies, and they will tell us these strategies, and then it's basically up to me as a player or anyone as a player to fucking listen or not, right? And like I just kind of want to play my own.
You know how what BAUS is like? He's like Captain Jack Sparrow. You know? It's like he wants to. The excitement is him putting himself in situations and then him figuring it out. He's clip farming, real time. That's what he likes doing. That's the way he plays. He's clip farming. It's kind of antithetical to pro play, and the most beautiful part was when both of these worlds came together, right? When BAUS managed to do well in games and still bring his magic. But there's a point in time where anything that is competitive, it gets to the point where discipline and precision wins out. You know? And I guess from BAUS' side, you know, how much of himself and of that playful spirit is he willing to sacrifice to continue playing pro? That's why I said, you know, he was insulted by me saying that, like, I did this video where like a year ago where I basically, not a year ago but a couple of months ago, feels like a year ago, about me evaluating all of the players in Los Ratones and how well they would do in the LEC. And I said I think BAUS would hate the LEC schedule. I think it would be way too serious, and I think that that's something that he wouldn't want to adjust to because he's a free spirit. And he, of course, said, Yamato doesn't know what he's talking about. But I think this was easy to predict, you know? I think the playful nature is what the playful nature, like, there's a reason BAUS plays a lot of arena. He plays a lot of arena. Arena is like this the place to be playful and to have fun, you know? It's just... I've spent enough time with BAUS to know, you know, because not necessarily that like I'm a good people reader, but also it's like I think BAUS also wears himself on the sleeve, you know.
Game, you know, I just don't want to go into a point in my life where I get bored of the game, you know, turn into this thing where I wake up for 5 hours a day and I play passive under tower for 5 hours every day. That's not what I want to do. That's not how I play.
Bro, just tell us, can you stream next year? No way you are giving up your streaming career.
No, for sure not. I'm kind of thinking for myself, like, what do I really want? Do I want to sit under tower for 5 hours every day in scrims and then rock up to a official match and like sit under tower there as well? Like, I'd rather just you know, streaming and griefing solo queue sounds a lot more. So I'm kind of contemplating right what I want to do. Best case would be if I can grief and int in pro play. That's always been a good time.
That is the most fun content when he gets away with it.
The mood in the team right now could be better, you know. I think if enemy top laner stands 0 another time, Crowny might lose it, you know. I gotta stop hinting, I think.
Crowny has lost it. He has nothing to lose anymore besides his hair, you know? Like,
yeah, it's all being discussed, right?
You're 100% of the game weak-sided. Why isn't Crowny 10-0?
Nah. This text-to-speech is like, BAUS is weak-sided. Why is Crowny not getting a kill every time BAUS is killed?
These last few weeks when we prepare for EM Master, there were a lot of offline scrims. And I spent like 6 hours every day just playing fucking games, scrimming, and then some days I wasn't even able to stream because like the time schedules were so cooked. And you know, I'm not gonna play fucking pro play if that means I can't stream, you know. I'd much rather stream then play pro play, obviously. Like, that's a no-brainer. I will never do it like how we did now, pretty much. Where I spend like fucking 2 days a week streaming.
Why can't they just stream their scrims? Because, brother, it's a disadvantage. And also, the other team needs to agree to it. And they need to scrim against LEC teams. And they're not going to want to stream their scrims. Because, guys, I hated the narrative that when Los RATONES were winning, it's like, look, guys, they can stream their scrims and still, like, succeed. I'm like, brother, they succeeded in spite of that. Because of how good Nemesis and Crowny were playing. You know? Like, Nemesis and Crowny was so good to carry these email masters. I don't care what you say. But they did so much. And sure, there were games where Velia carried, games where Reckless carried, and games where, of course, BAUS also carried with his Volibear and so forth. Definitely. I'm not saying they didn't. But Crowny and Nemesis was the skeleton and the backbone of this team, allowing these guys to even remotely like qualify to play their games, you know, mechanically. Like Crowny and Nemesis did so damn much. And eventually, you know, that caught up to people, you know, that caught up to them and teams got better and then they got smoked. I hated this narrative where people were like, oh, look, Los RATONES did it. It's the same when people say, it's like, I don't believe like age. Like, my take on age in esports is nuanced. But it's not that nuanced. It's just very simple. It's like, if you reach a certain age, what matters is what did you do before you reach that age. If you wanna go pro at the age of 26 and you played League for 6 years, yeah, probably that's not gonna happen. If you were a pro for 10 years of your life and you played at the highest level, yeah, probably you're gonna still be good because of your experience and who you are and how you manage to stay afloat and stay competitive. These things really, really matter. Age is not that big of a deal in esports. It's more about, like, it's just a question of what did you use. Like, if someone sits on a PC and plays a PC game for the first time when they're 18, odds are you're gonna suck ass. It's like, I as a person, I started playing PC games. Like, I started playing PC games when I was 4. So I was like, yo, bro, I was nerding it out. Like, I was playing Diablo 1 when I was 5. Probably not the best game to play as a child. I don't know why I got into this topic. Why did I get into this topic? Oh, the reason I brought up this topic is because people said, look, Faker is this old and he's still playing. Yeah, Faker's the GOAT of the game. He is the GOAT of the game. He's not an example, like, in the sense that, oh, Faker did it, so I can do it. It's the same as like people like, Los RATONES are screaming the scrims and still winning. We can do it too. It's like, nah, they're an outlier. They're an outlier, plain and simple. They are doing it in spite of that. In the same way, it's like Faker has fucking arm problems. And that's what makes him such a G, right? It's like Faker's arm problems are so extreme, but he's still playing through it and figuring it out somehow. That's what's so gangster, you know? He's basically, like, I don't know, he's like the young wolf from Sekiro who lost his arm, you know? Like, and he's still, you know, beating everybody up. If you're good at the game. Obviously, if you're Cadril, then you are stuck at the big ape.
I'm not into.
Yeah, it's like saying you can also learn math. Albert Einstein did it.
I want to stream. That's why Los RATONES was so good, because Los RATONES gave me the opportunity to stream the scrims. And it was a lot more chill team, it was a lot more relaxing, and that way, so it was so perfect for me. I feel like the more and more, like, especially the second half of the year, and depending on how next year looks, we're turning more and more into a professional athlete team, you know. And I have no place in that, you know. I'm not gonna give up my streaming career for pro play. If the schedule means I need to stream 6 hours a day and review 3 hours a day, I'm not saying anything, Chad. Don't get it wrong. I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying I'm constantly looking for a solution, and I will not give up my streaming career to be a pro player.
No, I actually.
So my take on this, right? I'm expecting BAUS to play the Winter Cup or the Winter Versus. Like, I expect him to play that. It is some cool ass llamas. I expect him to play it for sure. I expect BAUS to play it 100%. And after that, I think it's done. You know, the main issue with Los Ratones is, guys, the main issue is that how do you replace anybody on this team? How? You can't. How do you replace anybody on this team? Los Ratones has to pay the team according to German laws? No, they don't need to. They don't have any like employment contracts. They're not employees. There has to be huge pressure on BAUS playing with legends like Nemi, Crowny, and Reckless. I think there was no pressure like that with BAUS. I don't think he cares about these people at all. Like obviously he cares, but not in that way. I don't think he's like, whoa, look, wow. I think he just had respect for like them through how he interacted with them in solo queue. My point is, I do think that the Tonys are probably gonna disband, guys. The Tonys are probably gonna disband after the Winter Cup, no? I think that's what's gonna happen, guys. I think that there is so little upwards mobility for Los Ratones because, like, where do you go from here? You know. I think that it's gonna be the Winter Cup, and then I think if BAUS is out, I think it's tricky. And then the question is if Los Ratones will just become another team that is the team of K-Drul, or that K-Drul doesn't want to associate his brand with a team that he's not super involved in. Because you could easily like maneuver yourself out of this, right? Like if Los Ratones, like if K-Drul came to me tomorrow and said, yo, I want to be less involved with the team after winter, BAUS is out. And then he came to me, and then Odoamne was going to become a top laner, and he said, I want you to take over the coaching, and I want the team to go into a more serious route. That's something that he could do easily, right? But then the question is, if he's outside of the project, does he want to, you know, connect his brand to it? Because the main idea and the main question here for of course, Keru would be, do you want to be in a situation where... well, do you eventually want the team to be ready to go into the LEC, or are you going to give up on that dream? So that's the main question Kado needs to ask himself. Does he want to sink in time and money into something and eventually get to the point where he strikes a deal with, let's say, Red Bull to buy a spot in the LEC and go all out that? Or is he going to just be the face of all the leagues? And I honestly think from Kado's perspective, he has way more influence, way more money, way more power, way less stress by not even trying to achieve the LEC dream. So from Kado's side, I don't think it makes sense to pursue a spot in the LEC. It's way better to be on the outside. Because keep in mind, from Kado's point of view as well, you can also just... you can support all the teams. He did say one time he wanted to have at least one shot at Worlds. I don't think this is going to happen. That's really not going to happen, guys.